Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I'm going to talk about Operation Gremlin Rider and the Broadway Gangsta Crips. The Broadway Gangsta Crips are from South Central and started back in the 70s, so they have a long history of being in the streets and also a long history of putting in some work. Broadways are broke up into two different sets, the 5 Deuce Broadways and the 11 Deuce Broadways. The Broadways are rivals to several gangs, especially with them being a part of the Gangsta Card. The Gangsta Card includes other allies like the Avalon Gangsta Crips, the Playboy Gangsta Crips, the 5-1 Trouble Gangsta Crips, and of course the 8-Tray Gangsta Crips, just to name a few. With being a gang, controlling your area, making money, and taking out ops as a current occurrence, and the Broadways was known for all three. The Broadways were causing such a problem, Operation Gremlin was started to bring them down. The Broadway started a little clique, which was started by elite Broadway members named Gremlin Riders, where several members had Gremlin tattoos. It would be a 213-page indictment ready to bring down the Broadways and any affiliates. 72 people will be taken down on this case, including several major factors in the gang. Out of the 72 people charged, several different charges were given, from weapons, trafficking, conspiracy, and catching bodies. This case was building so long, they had victims that the Broadways was accused of shooting dating back to 2003. Several Broadways like Tiny Ange, Tiny Looney, Big Toon, Woody, Tutu, and Little C-Bone were all major names in this case. BG Rico from 11 Deuce Broadway will later talk about this on Vlad TV.
Big indictment.
So all those people were Broadway?
Yeah.
So they essentially just...
They like damn near wiped the whole...
They wiped out that whole gang
it's
pretty
like
much.
it ain't really the same.
People snitched.
Like, a lot.
A lot. What percentage?
Out of that 72, I mean, you know, all they really need is like, I think it's like 5.
In 2003, it was later proven that Tiny Looney and the other Broadways took the life of a man on Sunset Boulevard out the House of Blues. The Broadways surrounded the victim's car and sprayed it. Another man was shot, but later survived. He would get manslaughter for the shooting. 9 years later, Tiny Looney would be a part of a 2012 shooting when the Broadways went into Hyde Park area to a party, and 40 shots was fired into the party, taking the life of a man named William. Little Looney was also charged with trafficking, getting him 30 years. Now Little C-Bone, he was classified as being one of the leaders in the Broadways, and was also in on the 2012 shooting. He was calling major shots in the shootings. He was attached to 4 people getting shot, including a 10-year-old girl. Little C-Bone was found out a Broadway member was snitching, and he ordered several members to beat him and take his life, which he later died. Tiny Ange was involved in the shooting, which was retaliation after a Broadway member lost his life, and the strap used in the shooting was found in his car. After getting all these members from the area, all who were involved out of the 72 people would be banned from the area upon their releases, meaning if they ever were spotted on Broadway's turf again, they were all going to jail. With losing that many members to jail and other circumstances, that's a big blow to any gang. Losing key pieces in your gang could cripple you, but the Broadways are still active and in their areas. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.